in, local YouTuber VitruvianPhysique has uploaded yet another video without taking a month off. This is an unprecedented turn of events. Media outlets and celebrities around the world are unable to contain their excitement. We're going live to the field right now to hear what they have to say.
Oh, I'm definitely excited. I literally crap my pants in excitement.
VitruvianPhysique? Oh my god, so hot.
People say his calves are small, but they're big. They're tremendous. It's just everybody else out there has overly big, gross calves.
Welcome back to, okay, really? Guys, sometimes I do this like initial take multiple times and it seems all fun, but for me it's like this is the 7th time I've done this. And welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VitruvianPhysique. Thank you for stopping by for a stupendous, exciting, spontaneous, freaking awesome, running out of good words to say. It's gonna be a cool video, guys. I think it's gonna help a lot of you out there. I can sense it. So in the last video, we established that I'm gonna be doing a powerlifting competition probably sometime in the next 6 to 7 months. Pretty much what I anticipate will be around the end of my bulk. And in that video, guys, we established a specific goal of 365 pounds on the bench press. And that's great, you know, okay, cool. Let's do it. But okay, well, how much, you know, is that a lot for me right now? Like, how much of a journey is that going to be? That is what we need to establish today. This video is going to have 2 purposes. Number 1, as you got a little bit of a teaser in the beginning of the video, we are going to be testing out my current 1 rep max on the bench press because I know where I need to be in 6 or 7 months. But where am I right now? Am I 30 pounds away? In which case, you know, great, not bad. You know, I can do that. But if I'm 100 pounds away, then fuck! So we are going to be testing that, but that is going to be at the end of the video. I'm kind of saving the best for last. I thought, cool, fine. We know where we want to be if we've already established that, but where have I been? And that's why I thought it's going to be, this is a really cool opportunity I want to take right now to, essentially, this video is going to be a timeline analysis of my bench press strength over my entire lifting life, my entire career. And I think that this is going to be an excellent opportunity to establish a really good frame of reference for comparison purposes. And you can do this with anything, but I think I'm gonna go with the bench press because that's pretty much, let's be honest, that's everybody's favorite lift. Everyone's, you know, when they meet someone, they're like, yo, bro, how much you bench? Nobody's going up to you being like, how much do you in tricep extension? Ooh, yeah! No, nobody gives a shit, or not nearly as much. And I think I'm an excellent frame of reference or comparison for 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't have the best genetics. I don't think I have bad genetics, so to say, but I think on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like, oh my god, you're Mr. Olympia, 0 being like, I'm sorry, God hates you, I'm probably somewhere between like maybe a 6. I think I'm a little bit above average because, I mean, again, I'm 6 feet, 200 pounds, a decent amount of strength. I've been doing this for a while. But I don't think I'm anywhere near genetically gifted. I've done plenty of videos in the past on this topic specifically. There are plenty of fantastic examples of good genetics. You want to look at someone like Jeff Seid, David Lade, Steve Cook. All these guys are just ridiculous genetics. I know some people are going to say like, oh, steroids. No, even if you take that out of the equation, just looking at things like muscle insertion, body fat distribution, just overall bone structure, those are fantastic examples of good genetics and good ability to put on muscle and lose body fat at a greater rate than someone with average-ish genetics like myself. So because of that, I think you guys can kind of compare and contrast to me a lot better than to other guys. A good example of this, or a bad example of who someone you should probably not compare yourself to would be Jay Cutler. I'll never forget, I saw this years ago, and I can't get this out of my mind because it's friggin' ridiculous. Jay Cutler did an interview and he talked about how when he was, I think he was like teenager, right? He was in high school, like 16, 17, 18 at the very most, probably not even that old. He said that he never really worked out. He never did any actual gym training at this time. His only exposure to fitness or physicality of any nature was just, you know, like high school football team, playing some sports. Also, I think he did some work for his parents' construction business, which is obviously, you know, landscape and construction. It's a little bit more physical, but that's it. He's never really picked up a weight, never did any machines, cables, none of that stuff. He just, you know, wandered into his high school weight room just to dick around with his friends, and he said that his first time ever trying out the bench press, he did 315 pounds. For someone with essentially 0 bodybuilding experience at, you know, a teenager age, barely into puberty, to do that, to do something which a lot of people out there will never get to, that is ridiculous. Those are some, not even 1 in 1,000, that's like 1 in a million genetics, and it makes sense. The guy was a 4-time former Mr. Olympia. So yeah, the two, you know, they kind of go hand in hand. And number 2, similar case, the whole steroid thing. On social media, I've talked about this multiple times. I mentioned this actually in my last video. I don't want to make this a reoccurring thing, but let's be honest, steroids and social media fitness, they unfortunately, they go hand in hand. There is a lot of it. I mean, when I was kind of outside the fitness industry, outside looking in, when I was kind of just, in high school and in college, I thought it was like a bit of a problem, but not that big of a deal. I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's like 20% of guys are on it. Now that I'm in it, I'm like, actually, it's kind of the opposite. It's like 20% of guys aren't on it. It is a lot more prevalent than I had anticipated. Now that I'm kind of in the industry and I can kind of like, people talk, you learn things, things, your experience gets better. You realize like, holy shit, it's a lot more of it than I thought. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to you, the viewer. I'm not here to judge, that's just the way it is. But it's not a good thing, specifically in this case, when you're trying to make a comparison. Either way, enough talk. Let's get into the very first example. Igor Opushansky, all the way back at age 13. Try to contain yourselves. I know that I am at the peak of physical perfection. Welcome to 13-year-old awkward teenage Igor. Back when I thought that weird creature living on my head, I thought that looked good. So this is my physique at age 13. Now I'm estimating what my body weight was. Obviously I don't remember specifically. It's been like, over a decade. I think it was around 125, 130 pounds. I was around like 5'10"-ish, just around 2 inches shorter than, my maximum height, what I am today. I'll never forget this. A friend of mine, he had a home gym in his basement. His dad used to work out, and this one time we had a sleepover. It was like 2 a.m. We snuck down there when, he wasn't looking because he didn't want us using it because he thought he was going to decapitate ourselves. And we all tried to see what our 1 rep max on the bench press was, and I got 105 pounds for 1 rep. It was awkward, it looked gross, it was shaky as shit, and there probably was a 50% chance of me decapitating myself. But yeah, age 13, first time I ever tried the bench press, I did 105 pounds. That's actually, I think it should even be higher than that. It's a little embarrassing, but screw it, I was young and stupid, and this is the first time I ever touched the bench press. Now, one thing I want to do for this video is, I'm going to say all these numbers, but like, okay, fine, is that good? Is that bad? What does that mean? How do we actually analyze this? How do we assign it a score? That's one thing I get a lot from you guys. Comments, messages, DMs, emails. People are always asking me, Igor, here's my physique, here's my lifts. Is this good? Is this bad? A lot of people want some kind of a scoring system. Fortunately, this is actually something I've made in the past. For my Skinny Fat Solution, the course that came out last month, it was an overall online course, paperback book. There's a lot of stuff, but it did come with 2 kind of like bonus tools. It was a nutrition calculator and a strength progress tracker. And I'm actually going to be using that for this video because it directly applies here. And it's actually going to give you a grade, which we're going to be using in this video to essentially analyze whether it's good or bad. Is it untrained or beginner, intermediate, advanced, or maybe, just maybe, all the way to elite. Spoiler alert, no, I say maybe, but it's not. Elite is like, okay, you're not just a powerlifter, you're like a high-level powerlifter. You should be competing maybe at like national or at least state level competitions. Elite is really my ultimate lifetime goal to get up to. Either way, let's plug that in. Age 13, body weight 130, 105 pounds lifted for 1 rep. Well, obviously that comes out to 105 1 rep max. This comes out to untrained. This is the lowest you can go. This pretty much means that like it's not good at all. I mean, you're not even benching close to 100% of your body weight. But I mean, I was in grade 8, I was 13, I was a skinny, awkward kid. My experience was 0, so obviously this makes sense. Jumping ahead a little bit, let's get into the first time I actually started lifting. This is me, my body at the end of grade 9. I was 14 years old. I weighed around 145 pounds, and this is the first time I actually started lifting. Now, keep in mind, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had 0 experience with nutrition. I was literally eating 40 grams of protein per day, if that. For some reason, I didn't see the connection between nutrition and training. I thought they were 2 separate things. I thought, like, doesn't matter what you eat. It's just, it matters how much you lift and how hard you lift. I know. Looking back, it's like, are you insane? How could you not see the connection? But I was 14. Either way, this came out after about 6 months of crappy lifting. I came out to 155 pound bench press, which is cool because this is finally me surpassing body weight. Once you can bench press your body weight, congratulations. You are like at the little, you're getting to a point where like you can actually say, hey, I lift. You know how the joke, do you even lift? Well, once you bench press body weight, congratulations, I do. You don't lift a lot, but you do lift. This actually comes out to a beginner level A analysis. I made this pretty much this program here to be like beginner level B, A, and then intermediate level B and A. So pretty much it splits you up. So beginner level A is good. It means I jumped over beginner level B. By the way, for those of you guys who are wondering, like, okay, where are you getting these scoring systems from? This is from a combination of my personal experience, and also there's a lot of published work and research out there judging pretty much segmenting strength levels relative to your body weights and kind of like putting it into groups. What is advanced, elite, etc. So it's all to do with your body weight. So someone who benches 200 pounds and they weigh 200 pounds, that's going to be a lot less impressive than someone who benches 200 pounds and they weigh 150, because it's your body weight to strength ratio. That's why you can't just get really big and bulk up if you don't get strong in the process, because actually pound for pound, your strength actually starts to go down. That's why when you bulk up, you need to see an equal or greater increase in strength to actually maintain or increase that strength to size ratio. If you don't, your bulk is not it's not going that well. It's not that successful. Either way, fast forward, let's jump ahead to when I was 19. This is me around the time that I was starting a first year of college. I was weighing about 180 pounds and I bench pressed. This is the first time I ever did it, 225 pounds for a 1 rep max. My first time doing 2 plates. This puts me at an intermediate level B score, which is good. Finally, after, I'm 19, after starting when I was 14, it's 5 years it took me to get to intermediate level B. And again, guys, what I'm doing here, it's real, but it's not optimal. I did the amount of strength and size gains. It took me like 4 or 5 years to go up what could have taken me 1 year had I done it properly. Obviously, you have to factor in puberty because I started when I was a young kid, but yeah, it's crazy. Some people think that like, 2 years of dicking around in the gym is equal to 1 year of doing things properly. No, it's more like 10 to 1. It's that crazy of a ratio. Honestly, if I can go back in time and teach myself when I was like younger, 15, 16, 17, how to eat properly, how to train properly, I could have saved myself so much. Jumping ahead 2 years, 21 years old, I got up to 190 pounds body weight. This is the first time in my life when I'm like, I'm actually starting to feel pretty damn big. I'm finally kind of like, whenever I'm in class, I'm kind of the bigger guy in class. Whenever I'm out with my friends, I'm one of the bigger guys in my friend group. This is when I really started to take off. And again, guys, in those 1 or 2 years after when I was in college, I made more gains than my 4 years in high school. It was definitely awesome. 275 pounds. First time I ever hit 2.5 plates for a 1 rep maximum, bringing me up to intermediate level A, which is good. We're almost out of that intermediate level, which probably I think someone could be at in anywhere from 2 to 4 years. Again, depending on how seriously you take it, and obviously depending on your genetic responsiveness to bodybuilding. Again, it sucks, but there are people out there who will put in half the work, take it half as seriously as you, and get twice the results. It sucks, but life ain't fair. Genetic variability in humans, people think it's like this. No, it's like that. It's kind of sucks, but you don't like, I was gonna say don't hate the player, hate the game, but you can't hate the game either. That's called life. It is what it is. What do they say? Change what you can't accept and accept what you can change. Unfortunately, this is an example of things that you cannot change, but screw it, that is okay. So yeah, 275 pounds. At this time, I trained for, I think this is around 6 or 7 years into my training, but again, only the last 1 or 2 years of which were actually legit with good training and most importantly, good nutrition. Honestly, only in college did I finally start realizing, hey, maybe protein intake is kind of a big deal. I know, shocking revelation. Yeah, I know. But it is what it is. All right, fast forwarding, let's go to when I was 23 years old. This is me at 200 pounds. This is actually the first time these are the first few videos that I ever put on my YouTube channel when I first started way back, and I think it was like 2014, around there, give or take. I was 200 pounds. I was a fluffy son of a bitch. This is the biggest at this time that I have ever gotten to. My body fat percentage was definitely a little bit higher, towards something like 19, 18, 20%, maybe even a little bit more. It wasn't just in my body. When it starts to go to your face, for me, like I'm gonna throw some clips on the screen right now of my fat face. I was definitely a heavy boy, to say the least, but I was strong. It was awesome. This is the first time that I did 315 pounds because I was bulking. I was bulking legit. I ate like it was a friggin' job. I ate till I didn't even want to eat anymore. I'm the kind of guy who does not have a really big appetite. For me, 3,000 calories is like, oh, I mean, you've seen my epic fail on my 10,000 calorie challenge. That was like me at 3 in the morning with a gun to my head. I'm still like, I can't eat, I can't do it. I'm like, I can't remember. Did I even break 9,000? I mean, to see these guys eat 15 or 20,000 calories, I'm like, what species of human are you? This is an exciting time in my life. Not only did I hit 315 pounds for 1 rep, but I remember, I think at this time, I did 315 for 3 reps, which at the time was crazy. That comes out to an estimated 1 rep max of around 345 pounds, give or take, like 340, 345. Again, it's an estimate, so it's not perfect. But yeah, that brings me up to advanced level B. This is the first time in my life that I actually tipped the scales into that advanced training strength, club. It's like, welcome to the Advanced Lifters Club. You can officially say, you lift. Do you even lift? Yes, I do. One thing that did kind of bring me back is, although my strength was high, because my body weight was very high, I mean, 200 pounds is definitely heavy, your strength to size ratio isn't as high as it could be, as opposed to if I was doing this at, like, let's say, like, 190 or 185 pounds body weight. This is where things start to take a little bit of a turn. Not for the worst, but this is where things start to get a little bit difficult. I literally bulked up until this entire time. I never once worried about fat loss. I didn't care about my six-pack. I literally bulked all the way up until I was 23 years old. And then when I was just turned 24 years old, that is when I did my first men's physique and bodybuilding natural competition. I'll actually throw some stuff up on the channel right now. This is like literally my 3rd ever YouTube video, so I apologize if this looked like it was filmed on a potato, because it pretty much was. I think this was filmed on like an iPhone 4 or something, or like one of those $60 handy cams that I bought from Best Buy. Everything looks just like this weird green yellow tinge, like I filmed it in the Matrix or something. It's pretty crappy, but we all got to start. We all got to start somewhere. Either way, so this is when problems started occurring. I mean, it's not a problem for my life, because I loved it. I got lean. I looked the best I ever have. I mean, after bulking for 8 years, to cut down and finally see like, oh shit, I do have a 6-pack under all this subcutaneous body fat. It felt pretty damn good. I lost like 30 pounds for my first competition. I got down to like 175 pounds, give or take, around there. And my strength went down, because guess what? If you're a regular human being, you're not friggin' Superman and you're natural, your strength is going to go down. You can mitigate this and minimize how hard this hits you, but nonetheless, you are still going to lose some. It's inevitable. It's going to happen to everyone, except for people on steroids, people with ridiculous genetics, and people who are in their first, 2-ish years of training, because those people can actually do a body recomposition where they build muscle, lose fat at the same time, but that's a completely separate situation. And me being like 8 years into training at this point, it's a very different situation. By the way, if you guys are interested, that's pretty much the whole focus of my Skinny Fat Solution course, and if you want to learn more about that, link in the description box below. Either way, after this, great, cool. I competed, it was fun, I learned a lot. Time to bulk up again. And I bulked up and my strength got up to, it kind of fluctuated around there, pretty much 315, 320. I did 335 pounds for my 1 rep max. That was the most I've ever done. I did that, I think it was January of 2016. It was a collaboration with Colossus Fitness, another local YouTube fitness channel here in Toronto. Again, guys, I've talked about this before in recent videos on my channel. This kind of bulk and cut process, it's problematic, and it kind of was this cat and mouse game where I would kind of get back up to normal, maybe a little bit stronger, and then cut down and lose my strength, and up, then lose, and it kind of kept on going back and forth. For example, here is an example of one of my competition vlogs. This is me 3 weeks out from my show. My body weight's around 175 pounds, and I was doing this is 225 pounds, which I normally do for like 15 reps. I mean, I do challenges, like how many reps can you do? It's like the NFL Combine where you try to get 20, 30, 40 reps or something like that. And normally I'm doing I've done as high as 15, 17, 18, almost 20 reps before. And here I did it. This is my first set of the day, and I did it for 7, which is at a 1 rep max estimation of something in the mid to high 200s, probably 270, 275, 280 at the very most, which is a solid 30, 40, 50 pound loss from where I was at 335. And again, because you cut down, your strength goes down. It's like you're trying to run a car with no gas in it. It's not going to go very far, or in this case, it's not going to go very hard or fast or strong. And doing this stuff back and forth, it does take a toll on you. When I look my best, I feel like fucking shit. I look so jacked and lean on stage, but I am literally lifting 30% of what I normally do. It sucks, but again, welcome to natural lifting. It's a little difficult. Either way, most recently, This is January of this year of 2018, just around a year ago. I was 190 pounds body weight. I had to keep things a little bit lean, but fortunately I was still able to hit a 320 pound bench press for 3 reps, bringing me up to a 352 estimated 1 rep max. Again, it's not perfect, give or take 5 or 10 pounds, because it is a calculated estimated 1 rep max. But at 190 pounds body weight, because this is the strongest I've ever been, and also at a little bit less body weight than I have in the past, this actually finally brings me into the advanced level A category, which is good. I finally made it to the highest level of advanced lifting that I could possibly get to. The only step next is elite lifting, which at that, if you can get to an elite level of strength, holy shit, you should be competing at a pretty that's not even local powerlifting meets, that's like you should be going to state or national levels. And guys, yeah, that is pretty much it up until this point, up until what I did 2 days ago, which we're going to see. Again, guys, I keep leading up to it, but it's a minute away. Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be worth it. I don't know why I'm hyping this up so much. It's just me picking heavy things up. But fucking welcome to YouTube, where everything is freaking crazy and clickbait and awesome and holy shit. Oh my god, did I almost die? Did I lift 9,000 pounds? Holy shit. Ah! Please subscribe. I am going to be attempting this. This is around 2 days ago. This is me at 182 pounds body weight, attempting 315 pounds on the bench press, as you guys saw that little trailer in the beginning. Now, some of you guys may be saying, oh, Igor, come on, you've done that before. You've done more than that before. What the hell? This is a step back. This isn't that impressive. Not necessarily, because again, you have to factor in pound for pound strength. I'm failing so hard at trying to avoid spoilers. Screw it, you guys can watch for yourselves. And yeah, screw it, that's it. I'm not gonna give away any more of it. I've already failed epically at that. You guys can watch it for yourselves. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I apologize if it was just 40 minutes of me just freaking rambling and stuff. I'm already starting to sweat. Again, guys, this is my cardio. You wanna know my secret to staying lean? It's this. Fucking 30 minutes of this every time I do a video. Again, 2019, the year of the 365 pound bench press, or I will be very embarrassed. Okay, that was good. Could I do like 5 or 10 pounds more? Maybe. My bar speed, the actual speed of the bar, which I use to deduce how difficult the weight was and how much more I can do. Like if it's like literally the biggest grinder of your life, that's it. That's your true max. That bar speed was like slow, but not agonizingly slow. I locked it out in what, 2-3 seconds? Especially at the bottom, that's my usual sticking point. Once I can actually get it to like here, I can do the rest. But it's that bottom. So if I can get it off here, I'm good. And I did that fairly well. Was it a lot of bounce? Did you see that? No? Good? All right, good. I'm always worried about that. So it's not a paused bench press, but the most I've ever done on a pause is 320 pounds. But again, that was me at like fucking 205 pounds, big, fat, fluffy boy. I've never done 315 at anything less than 190, which is like where I'm definitely bigger and stronger. So to do this while I'm still kind of like relatively lean, like 6-pack-ish, you know, beach lean, not shredded, but beach lean, definitely does feel pretty good. I want to be just repping this shit for like a set of 8. I want my 1 rep max, you know, 8-9 months from now, whatever. I want it to be just like a regular, like, oh yeah, 3 sets of 8. I want it to feel like that. And if I do, then we know this bulk will be a success. So here's to you, future Igor. Show us what you got.